Right now, teenagers across China are typing prompts into chatbots, asking algorithms to pick their college majors. Human tutors simply cost too much, so students are handing their futures over to software. Viola Zhou captures this shift in a piece for Rest of World. Putting her reporting next to an essay by Pawan Jain creates a sharp tension. Jain proposes a strict rule for personal finance. Bots are fine for basic math, but dangerous for irreversible choices. Reading these two pieces together forces a pause. There is a massive difference between calculating compound interest and deciding the entire course of a career. Yet people are increasingly crossing that line, letting software dictate their most permanent decisions. After taking China's grueling college entrance exam, teenagers have just 3 weeks to lock in a major they can almost never change. In a piece published this week, Viola Zhou watches these students hand their futures over to algorithms, since private human coaches cost too much. Listen for the exact details one 18-year-old types into a chatbot: her test score, a moderate tuition budget, and a wish to live near the coast, hoping to find a safe career path.
After taking part in China's grueling national college entrance exam, Guo Xinyan has 3 weeks to make what could be the most important decision of her life: which universities and programs she should apply to. The 18-year-old turned to an AI chatbot for help. On Alibaba, founded in 1999 by Chinese entrepreneur Jack Ma, is one of the most prominent global e-commerce companies that operates platforms like AliExpress, Taobao, and Tmall. Read more. On Alibaba's chatbot Quen, Guo entered her score, where she ranked in her home province of Shandong, her desired major, law, accounting, or finance, her budget for tuition, moderate, and where she wants to live, coastal cities. The bot generated a report with dozens of choices. My family and I have no experience with college applications, so we had to rely on social media and AI, Guo told Rest of World, adding that her parents had asked ByteDance is a Chinese internet technology company that owns TikTok, and Douyin, a Chinese version of TikTok with a successful e-commerce arm. Read more. Adding that her parents had asked ByteDance's Doubao to suggest college programs for her. There's nothing in particular I want to study. We're just looking for good career prospects. Every year, around 10 million Chinese students take the college entrance exam, known as the Gaokao. Students wait for the exam results and then have just a few weeks to factor the scores into their application decisions. Some majors and programs are more competitive than others. The grades determine whether a student has a chance at landing at prestigious universities and pursuing popular majors like business and engineering. Filling out the preferences is a high-stakes decision. There are thousands of schools and hundreds of majors to choose from.
While college students in the U.S. commonly switch majors early in their studies, Chinese universities have stringent requirements for transferring to a different field of study. Most students have this one opportunity after the Gaokao to decide on their future professions and whether they will thrive in the increasingly competitive job market. China's biggest AI players. Many families pay private coaches to guide them through the decision. AI companies are now offering the service for free as they try to get more consumers to use chatbots in everyday life. Since 2025, tech companies including Alibaba, ByteDance, Tencent, best known for its super app WeChat, Tencent is a Chinese technology company and a major player in the video gaming industry. Read more. And Baidu. Baidu is a Chinese technology company that operates the country's biggest search engine and video streaming service, Ikiji. Read more. Have all launched AI tools that specialize in researching and recommending college programs. These bots are typically agentic AI systems that conduct analysis based on universities' historical admission cutoff scores. They ask for students' Gaokao scores, career interests, the Myers-Briggs type indicator personality assessments, and other preferences, such as tuition fees and local climate. Eventually, the bots produce a list of suggested programs, divided into reach, safety, and backup categories, depending on how likely the students are to get in. Alibaba's Quan said it had recruited 300 college search specialists to improve how the AI system thinks through various options. Baidu has promised to have human experts review the AI-generated recommendations. By July 8th,
Alibaba's Quen said it had produced 23 million college program recommendation reports to this year's Gaokao takers. The company has hosted tutorials in a number of rural high schools. Tencent's Yuanbaobot said on July 10th that it had answered 200 million inquiries related to college admission. Baidu said in late June that 15 million people had used its AI college advisory feature. American students and parents are also using AI chatbots as their virtual college admission consultants, with some educators praising the tools for benefiting those who cannot access help from private coaches or family members with college degrees. Chinese high schools rarely provide career counseling to students. Before AI, families relied on guidance books, social media influencers, and independent college selection tutors, who profit by selling online tutorials or personal coaching sessions that could cost up to thousands of dollars. Consultancy iMedia estimated college admission advisory services made up a $160 million industry. To many students and parents, getting into the right university and major program has become especially important at a time of high youth unemployment and rising fear that many jobs will soon be taken over by artificial intelligence. AI itself has become a popular choice as Chinese universities add majors such as embodied intelligence and brain-computer science. Don't talk about dreams. The best-known college admission advisor was a man called Zhang Shuifeng. With more than 27 million followers on TikTok like Douyin, Zhang was known for bluntly telling working-class families which majors, math and engineering, led to a bright future and which did not, journalism and philosophy.
His company charged up to $2,700 for helping students fill out their college preferences. After Zhang passed away suddenly from a cardiac arrest in March this year, engineers built AI versions of him. One developer created a Zhang Shuifeng skill on GitHub with Zhang's books and remarks. Skills are bundles of instructions and scripts that improve how AI agents perform particular tasks. Anyone can download the Zhang Shuifeng skill and make an AI agent speak in Zhang's signature utilitarian manner. If your family has no money, don't talk about dreams, the bot would tell someone who wanted to study the arts. Pick a major that puts food on the table, like computer science, education, or getting a government job. To help her younger sister find the best college programs, Cindy Lin, a user experience designer in Fujian province, built her own chatbot on OpenAI's agentic AI tool, Codex. She combined the Zhang Shuifeng skill, a book introducing all of the college programs offered that year, and admission data from the past 3 years. Lin entered her sister's Gaokao score and her preferences. She was looking for majors that led to good jobs but did not require too much math study. The AI agent came up with programs like supply chain management and e-commerce marketing. They were facing so many choices after the Gaokao, Lin told Rest of World. There's no way individuals can digest so much information in such a short time. The life consequences of an AI error. The industry of college application coaching has for years been criticized for profiting from students' anxieties. Many coaches are themselves unfamiliar with the large number of college programs, and some now secretly use AI to generate recommendations, according to Chinese media reports.
Still, parents are willing to pay high prices for the peace of mind that someone more informed is looking out for their children's future. Ye Xiaoyang, a Seattle-based economist and visiting professor at East China Normal University, has been advising rural students on their college search. He told Rest of World that although chatbots were free to use, many rural students lacked basic computer skills and didn't know how to prompt a chatbot so they could better understand their options. Although AI was excellent at sorting through tens of thousands of university programs, it couldn't help students figure out what to do with their lives, Ye said. This year, he launched his own free AI college coaching platform that teaches students basic admission rules and helps them explore career directions. Everyone can open a chat box, but it doesn't mean everyone has the same ability to make choices, he said. A good AI system should be able to guide students to think for themselves. AI tools could make mistakes, such as citing outdated data or omitting strong options, according to tests conducted by Chinese media. By giving similar recommendations, AI may also steer students of similar scores toward the same programs, Ye said. Such tendencies can carry serious consequences. If a student fails to get a match, they will miss an entire round of schools and potentially end up in a much lower-ranked place.
Guo, the Shandong graduate, said some of her classmates had paid for human coaches. She opted to cross-check the chatbot's suggestions with official guidance books and what college students were sharing on social network RedNote. She wanted to know if the school dormitories were in good condition. I still find real people's experiences more trustworthy.
Watch an 18-year-old type her test scores into a chat window, and the stakes are hard to ignore. Viola Zhou leaves you looking at students handing the trajectory of their careers over to an algorithm simply because a human coach costs too much. Turn the page to Pawan Jain, and that exact trade-off gets a sharp set of boundaries. Jain looks at people who can only afford free advice and draws a strict line. He points out that algorithms are perfectly safe for basic math, like figuring out credit card interest or sizing up an emergency fund. But he warns against trusting them with irreversible choices. Read alongside Zhou, Jain's financial rule suddenly looks like a warning label for those teenagers. The students in China are doing exactly what Jain advises against, making a permanent, one-shot life decision based on a bot's output. The interesting thing is how both writers trace this back to the exact same problem. Whether someone is picking a college major or planning a retirement, human expertise is expensive. When people are priced out of a professional opinion, a confident chatbot starts to look like the only option left.
Finding good financial advice can be stressful and expensive. That's one reason why chatbots have become an increasingly popular and free alternative. But using artificial intelligence to answer your pressing money questions also carries hidden dangers. I'm a finance professor who has been closely watching the spread of AI into personal finance, and I recently warned that AI is riskiest when it sounds most confident. I advised readers to bring in a human professional for high-stakes financial decisions. One response came back that caught my attention. What if you can't afford an advisor? For many households, that's the reality. A traditional advisor can cost hundreds of dollars an hour, which makes little sense when your savings are modest. For those people, AI isn't a second opinion, but the only financial advisor they'll ever have. So the useful question isn't whether they should use it, it's how to get something actually helpful out of it without being misled. My answer: for people who can't afford ongoing advice, AI is genuinely useful for budgeting, paying down debt, and low-cost investing. The skill lies in using AI well. Here are some simple guidelines to get accurate and actionable answers when you engage with a chatbot. AI is good for everyday money questions. The gap between AI and a human advisor is narrowest for common sense guidance. Build a small emergency fund. Pay down high-interest debt. Contribute enough to your workplace retirement plan to capture the full employer match, which is free money. Invest in low-cost, diversified index funds. Don't panic sell when markets fall. None of this is controversial. It's consensus advice, and it's precisely where AI is reliable and its confidence is earned. Here are a few examples of specific questions that a chatbot handles well. My daughter is 6, and I would like to have around $60,000 saved by the time she starts college. How much do I need to set aside each month to get there, and what rate of return does that assume? I'm carrying credit card debt at 22% interest, a car loan at 7%, a student loan at 5%, and I've allotted $300 a month to put toward them. Which takes priority? My employer matches 50 cents on the dollar up to 6% of my paycheck for my retirement fund, and I earn $58,000 annually. How much do I need to contribute to capture the full match, and what's that worth for a year? My retirement plan has a fund charging 0.85% a year and an index option charging 0.05%. If I put away $40,000 over 25 years, what does that gap cost me? I'm the only earner in my household. My income varies month to month, and my expenses run about $3,200 per month. How large should my emergency fund be, and where should I invest it? My retirement plan offers a 2055 target date fund and an S&P 500 index fund. What's the difference, and what factors should I consider while choosing one of the two? Notice what these questions have in common. Each is a general question with a well-established answer, and every fact specific to you is one you supply rather than one the tool has to guess. Give it the facts and ask it to do the reasoning, and its responses are genuinely strong. For these questions that are 90% of your financial life, AI is a useful free guide, and for someone who had no professional guidance at all, that's a real gain. The danger lives in the other 10%, and the key is telling the two apart. A typical chatbot will answer anything you type, including questions it should not, in fluent prose that can be confidently wrong.
So slow down whenever a decision is large, irreversible, tax-related, or being sold to you. Examples include negotiating a windfall or inheritance, making early withdrawals from or conversions between retirement accounts, claiming Social Security, taking on major debt, and weighing any pitch for a product like an annuity or whole life insurance. Inherited retirement accounts alone carry withdrawal and tax rules that a chatbot can state with total confidence and still get wrong for your specific case, at a cost of thousands of dollars. 5 habits that make AI safer. Once the list of questions is set, here are some precautions to take once you engage with a chatbot. Make it ask you questions first. Open with, "Before you advise me, ask me the questions a good financial planner would ask." Generic answers come from underspecified questions, and you learn which details will actually produce a more useful outcome. Ask it to argue against itself. After any recommendation, reply, "Give me the strongest case against this, and the situations where it would be wrong for me." If it can't engage in response, that's a sign the bot is entering a more dangerous mode. This one precaution does more than any other to signal for you to be careful. Make it show its assumptions. If the bot projects that your savings will grow to an impressive number, ask what assumption it made and what would change it. You'll learn that it assumes steady returns every year, no missed contributions, and no fees. That means the projection is just information, not a promise. Verify the facts. Contribution limits, tax brackets, and deadlines all change, and this is exactly where AI can be subtly out of date. Check the IRS or the Social Security Administration directly. If one number drives your decision, don't take it on a chatbot's word. Never share identifying details. Don't offer account information, Social Security numbers, or logins. Describe your situation in general terms. Good advice doesn't require handing over data that can be used against you. Robo-advisors are a low-cost middle ground. If your main need is simply to invest, robo-advisors sit between a free chatbot and an expensive human. These automated platforms build and rebalance a diversified portfolio of low-cost funds based on your goals and risk tolerance, typically for an annual fee of 0.25% to 0.50% of assets under management, often with little or no minimum balance. In a 2022 study of a large robo-advisory platform, my co-authors and I found that typical users skew young and male, and are often small investors, exactly the people that traditional advice has priced out. We also found that new account signups rise during periods of high market volatility. People reach for these tools when markets turn turbulent, which is when automated discipline helps most and a panicked move costs most. The catch? Robo-advisors run on preset models and the inputs you give them. They won't handle a divorce, an inheritance, or a complicated tax year. If your life changes and you don't update your inputs, the strategy won't adjust on its own. What a human adds that AI does not. Let's say you can afford a professional. What advantage does human advice offer over a bot? It's not just about the material results. In a new study, I found that the value of human advice shows up as lower financial anxiety rather than higher returns. It wasn't about simply having an advisor. Rather, the comprehensiveness of the planning put clients at ease, detailed attention across estate, investment, retirement, risk management, and tax questions, as well as advice about the psychology of money. That benefit, I found, was concentrated almost entirely among households with lower financial literacy, where the effect was roughly 6 times larger than among the most financially sophisticated, for whom it was negligible. 2 further findings are practical. My research found that clients of Certified Financial Board certified advisors reported more comprehensive service across all 6 planning areas, so the credential is a reasonable proxy for what actually helps.
And AI use showed no sign of substituting for human advisors, and it did not predict lower financial anxiety. Reassurance is the one function current AI does not supply. A professional doesn't have to mean expensive. Hiring a human for help doesn't require splurging on an advisor on retainer. You can save here with fee-only planners who charge a flat hourly rate to answer one focused question for a few $100s through professional and certification organizations such as the CFP Board, the Garrett Planning Network, the XY Planning Network, or the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors. In addition, many workplace retirement plans and credit unions offer free coaching. For handling debt, nonprofit credit counseling is available through the National Foundation of Credit Counseling. And if your annual income is $69,000 or less, the IRS's free Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program provides tax help at no cost. So the choice isn't between AI or a pricey advisor.
It's AI for the everyday questions, a robo-advisor for hands-off investing if you want one, and a single affordable hour of human time at the red flag moments, ideally with someone who does comprehensive planning rather than a single transaction. That last point isn't just a preference, it's what the evidence says actually reduces the worry.
A finance professor can afford to draw a hard line against letting algorithms make irreversible choices. A teenager staring at a blank college application, priced out of human advice, faces a colder reality. What lingers from these two stories is the gap between safe rules and economic necessity. A chatbot might be a terrible tool for picking a life path, yet for millions, it is the only counselor in the room. The question left behind is this: when human guidance becomes a luxury, is a flawed machine better than walking into the dark alone?